The views, information, and opinions expressed during the following program are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent the views of Access Communications, its representatives, or its employees.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Weyburn City Council for Monday, June 23rd, 6 o'clock on this beautiful Monday evening in downtown Weyburn. We've got a pretty busy agenda tonight, full. We've got another home-based business, which is great. We're going to approve some paving, new appointment to the airport board, and some other business. So let's get to work. I would look first for, to approve the minutes of the June 9th meetings. For motion.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'll make a motion that the minutes of the regular council meeting and the strategic planning and priorities meeting held on June 9th, 2025 be approved.
Great. And a seconder?
Your Worship, I will second that motion.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, edits? Hearing none, call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Next up, we have the agenda. Any additions to the agenda? Administration?
Yeah, thanks, Your Worship. There's no additions from administration tonight.
Thank you. Council? All right. Hearing none, we'll go onwards. No public hearings, no notices, no delegations tonight, no proclamations, no petitions, reports of standing committees. So do any members of council want to bring forward any reports? Councillor Bador.
Thanks, Your Worship. Just wanted to remind everyone our Ag Society is working hard towards their yearly fair and 4-H that they do there, so make sure to get out there and support them next week. They put a lot of work and a lot of hard work and volunteers, and it is a great event for Weyburn, so make sure to get out there.
Thank you. Yeah, Councillor Sedlowski.
I'd also thought I'd mention the Arts Council is currently painting 2 murals right now and looking for volunteers. So if anyone wants to get out on weekend or an evening, they share on their Facebook when they will be there, and we're always looking for volunteers.
Perfect. Thank you very much. If that's it, is anybody else? No. Next up is just one item on the consent agenda, but if we could get a motion to get that on the floor.
Your Worship, I move that the following item on the consent agenda, the cash activity report for May of 2025, be approved as presented.
And a seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. Any questions about the cash activity report? If there's none, then I'll call that question. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you very much. All right, on to the business of the evening. Our motions first. We are looking for a new appointment to the Weyburn Airport Board. I will turn this item over to the Director of Engineering.
Okay, so as per the terms of reference established in the Weyburn Airport Board bylaw number 2019-3403, the Mayor and or Council of the City Weyburn shall appoint 2 members of Council, 1 member of the RM of Weyburn number 67, and 4 citizens at large to be members of the board. Currently, the board only has 3 citizens at large members, resulting in 1 vacant position. At the June 6, 2025 Weyburn Airport Board meeting, a motion was passed to recommend adding Justin Farr to the board. I recommend that the City Council appoint Justin Farr to the Weyburn Airport Board.
All right, can we get a motion for this, please?
Your Worship, I'll make the motion that that City Council appoint Justin Farr to the Weyburn Airport Board.
And a seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. All right, any questions around this or any comments? I'm going to make the assumption the airport board's had this conversation as well. Yeah. Okay. If there's nothing else, then I'll call the question. All in favor? Carried. Thank you, Mr. Farr, for letting your name stand and for your service. Yes.
Worship, I'd just like to thank Doug Beach for his service. He actually stepped away, so we had to have an opening on this board, and Doug served on this board for many years and was an integral part of this board, and thank him for his service.
Thanks, Councillor Bador. Sorry about cutting you off there. Good. All right, motion's carried. We'll move on. Next is a consent of title, and we'll look to the Director of Finance for this one, please.
Thank you. So as per Section 26.1 of the Tax Enforcement Act, the property listed below has not been redeemed by the title holder, and the city may proceed with transferring title of Lot 18, Block 72, Plan Number S4840. This property has been in tax enforcement since May 25th, 2023, with the last payment being made in July of 2021. The water has been shut off at this property since March 11th of 2019. The tax enforcement process has been followed. All required letters and notices have been sent to the property owner with no response received. The Provincial Mediation Board was contacted on June 27th, 2024 regarding this property, and they have had no response from the homeowner. On April 16th, 2025, the Provincial Mediation Board gave the City of Weyburn consent to make final application for title. The 30-day final notice was sent to the property owner on May 11th of 2025 with no response received. So administration is requesting council to proceed with the consent of title. With this recommendation, the City of Weyburn will be transferring the land title into the city's name. The city will have a year to sell the property and clear off any outstanding property taxes.
Great, thank you. All right, let's get a motion first.
Your worship, I'll make the motion that council gives authorization to the city assessor to proceed with acquiring this title as per section 26.1 of the Tax Enforcement Act.
Your worship, I'll second that motion.
Thank you. All right, questions, if any? Yeah, Councillor Janke.
Given the amount of correspondence that's not been received, do we consider the property abandoned at this point, or is that kind of outside the scope?
Yeah, there's nobody living at the property.
Any other questions or comments? I notice in here it says the city will have 1 year to sell that property off and then pay off any outstanding taxes. So the tax bill is high on this. What happens if after a year the selling price doesn't meet the taxes owed?
So we'll put it up for tender and we'll try to receive that amount back in the taxes or in the sale to cover the taxes, and any amount above that would go back to the homeowner if we can get a hold of them. If not, we just hold on to it for a year and then it goes back into the city.
Gotcha. Thanks for that. Okay. Any other questions? Nope. Hearing none, we'll call the question then. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Okay, next up. This is the big one, Highway 35 and King Street paving. We'll go to the Director of Engineering, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. The City of Weyburn has an allocated $414,500 for the 2025 King Street reconstruction from the following budgets. $154,500 is budgeted under the Urban Highway Connector Program Capital Fund, not including the Urban Highway Connector Program funding, and $260,000 is available from the Infrastructure Revitalization Program Operating Fund. The province of Saskatchewan has committed to funding $2,058,400 through the Urban Highway Connector Program. The city has a cost share agreement with the province of Saskatchewan for this project, whereas the city will fully manage the design, tendering, coordination, and the construction of the project. And the province will financially contribute to the project as per the cost share agreement, whereas the province is responsible for 70% of the cost of the King Street reconstruction and 100% of the cost of the Highway 35 reconstruction. So Schedule A, King Street reconstruction, consists of a full structural rebuild from 1st Avenue North to 5th Avenue North, about 7.7 kilometers. Schedule B consists of Highway 35 reconstruction, roto-mixing the existing surface and repaving the newly established road crown from 5th Avenue North to the urban city limits, about 1.7 kilometers. On June 10th, 2025, a request for proposal for the King Street and Highway 35 reconstruction was posted on Bids and Tenders, SAS Tenders, and the city's website. Proposals were to be received by June 20th at 2 p.m. 3 proposals were received. The bids are summarized below, excluding applicable taxes. Proposals submitted were received by MPE and reviewed for any errors, omissions, or other discrepancies. Genco Asphalt Inc. submitted the overall low bid for the project at $2,431,534.40 and met all bid requirements, including bonding, insurance, and safety qualifications. Therefore, MPE recommended awarding the project to Genco Asphalt Inc. Based on the cost share agreement with the Ministry of Highways, the city's share of the cost for the project will be $373,188.20, which is within the city's allotted budget. It is recommended to award the 2025 King Street and Highway 35 reconstruction project to Genco Asphalt Inc. for $2,431,534.40, excluding taxes.
Thank you. Okay, can I get a motion for this one, please?
Your worship, I would move that council award the 2025 King Street and Highway 35 reconstruction project to Genco Asphalt Incorporated for $2,431,534.40, excluding taxes.
Thank you, Councillor Corrigan. Seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Eggs. Okay, any questions for the Director of Engineering on this project? Councillor Jenke?
Renee, have we used Genco for these kind of projects before?
Yes, Genco completed the First Avenue reconstruction last year, and they have completed lots of projects, paving projects within the city of Weyburn. So year before that, 5th Street, 2 blocks of 5th Street was a complete structural rebuild. Last year, about half or maybe a third of First Avenue was full structural rebuild, and then mill and fill for the other portion. So, yeah.
We've generally been happy with the quality of their work because I understand a structural rebuild is a little more complicated than just putting a layer on top.
Yeah, no, they're very qualified. They've been very successful with their work, and they've warrantied whatever needs to be done too after. So
Excellent, thank you.
yeah.
Thanks. Other comments? Yeah, Councillor Corrigan?
Thank you, Your Worship. We have a number of major projects going on this summer. Could you give us a time frame for this particular project and how it meshes in with everything else that's going on in the community through the summer?
For sure. So the King Street, so Schedule A for King Street portion has a timeline completion date of August 30th. So that completion date was put in place to avoid the conflict with the school traffic. And then Highway 35 North has a completion date of September 30th. And then we do have 5th Avenue North, which was awarded in previous council, and Genco Asphalt's also doing that project, and they will have a completion date of that by the end of August, as mid to the end of August as well.
So just curious, how does that mesh in with the roundabout project that's going on, and how will traffic be diverted to get north from the city?
Yeah, so there will be some concurrent work and asphalt work and detours in place for some time. The roundabout project is predicted to be done by end of August or end of September at the very latest as well. So in August, there will be significant detours for the highway traffic. Highway traffic will have to be detoured on the RM of Weyburn roads north of Weyburn. Local traffic will be able to use 5th Avenue in between that work, I guess. We'll phase it so that King Street, either King Street is open while 5th is closed, or 5th is open while King is closed, or even just the north leg or the south leg of King Street so that we can still use Douglas. That is all still have to be worked out with the contractor, of course, once we sign the contract in place, but it should be okay once we move on to Highway 35 North. We're hoping that the roundabout construction or detour will be done and back open over there when we close down Highway 35 North to do that work. And then we'll detour the traffic on that RM road over, not through another detour on Highway 39. But that's all if everything goes well, weather dependent. But there's definitely going to be some inconvenience and probably some overlap for some time in this construction period. It's inevitable, so, yeah.
Excellent, thank you very much. It's going to be a busy summer.
Yeah.
So I think people should keep their eye on city website and any other communications coming from the city regarding detours and where traffic can flow and that sort of thing. So
Absolutely.
thank you very much.
Any other questions? Councilor Bador?
Renee, just wondering about the undergrounds. Have you done any kind of work underground to make sure that we don't put fresh pavement over infrastructure that needs to be rebuilt?
Yeah, so the undergrounds on King Street, we will be doing underground work on King Street prior to doing the paving. So that work will be taking place very shortly. Fortunately, that work won't require full closure, so there'll be lane restrictions at times, or maybe brief temporary full closures in between Douglas and Second, for example, or First Avenue and Second Avenue, because we're just doing localized, like, catch basins, some manholes, valves, and 2 service connections, so, yeah.
Thank you. If there's nothing else, then we'll call the question. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much. Thank you for your work on that project. Okay, let's keep going. Introduction of bylaws, there are none. There is no unfinished business, so now we are on to new business. We've got 2 items in there. First is a home-based business application, and we will look to the Director or Coordinator of Planning and Development. Shirley, thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship. An application has been received from New Dow to operate a personal service home-based business out of their residence at 43 9th Street, located in the R2 zone. This would be considered a controversial use as the business involves clients being directed to the home throughout the day. The proposed hours of operation are Monday to Sundays from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. The applicant anticipates a minimal traffic increase with 1 vehicle per appointment, and driveway parking is available. The zoning bylaw requires that controversial home-based businesses, which involves clients attending the home, go through the neighborhood notice process, and receive council approval. Neighborhood notices were mailed out on June 10th to all neighbors within 50 meters of the applicant's home. Residents receiving the notice were given the opportunity to comment on the application, and no concerns or objections were received. Home-based businesses are permitted, meaning landowners do have the right to undertake the use in accordance with the bylaw, unless provisions of the bylaw are specifically contravened. The use identified would be considered a controversial occupation, as clients are directed to the home, as previously mentioned. Staff have reviewed the application and are of the opinion that the home-based business application does meet the requirements in the zoning bylaw. So our decision options: option 1, council approves the home-based business permit 2025.013 at 43 9th Street, subject to the following conditions. No person other than a resident of the dwelling shall be engaged in the home-based business as an employee or a volunteer. No advertisement carrying the address of the dwelling in which a home-based business occurs may be placed in any media. The home-based business shall not occupy more than 25% of the gross floor area of the dwelling. The face of any home-based business sign on site must not exceed 0.092 meters squared and must be placed within the inside half of the front yard setback. This permit is only valid for the above address and is non-transferable to another address. Home-based businesses are subjected to periodic review to ensure compliance. Applicant's driveway shall be used for off-street parking of clients, and a City of Weyburn business license shall be obtained prior to the operation of the home-based business. Option 2, refusal of the home-based business permit 2025.013 at 43 9th Street for the following reason. A permitted use must have a reason for refusal. So staff recommendation, option 1, that council approves home-based business permit 2025.013 at 43 9th Street, subject to the conditions listed above.
Thank you very much. We get a motion for this, please?
Worship, I make the motion that council approves home-based business permit 2025-013 at 43 9th Street, subject to conditions listed in option 1.
Thank you.
I'll second that motion, Worship.
Very good. Thanks so much. Any questions for Charlene on this, or any commentary? It's nothing. Good news, more business. Like to see it. All right. Hearing nothing, we'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Okay, Planning and Development Coordinator Malcolm, this one's a little heavier. This is a lot consolidation application. If you'd walk us through that, please.
Yep. The city has received an application from Eisner Mahon Forsyth Law Firm on behalf of Spruce River Homes Limited to consolidate lots E, F, and G, Block 14, Plan 77R 35154, otherwise known as 1805, 1825, and 1833 Cotto Avenue into one lot. So on our map, there were 3 parcels identified. It's actually the 2 at the bottom, right north of Cotto Avenue. The reason for this application is to facilitate the conversion of the current condominium units to full rental units. Pursuant to the requirements of the Planning and Development Act 2007, the city must provide comments to the applicant to be forwarded to the Community Planning Branch. Administration has no objections to this title consolidation or recommendation. Pursuant to Section 122, 1A of the Planning and Development Act, the city advises Eisner Mahon Forsyth Law Firm that it has no objections to the consolidation of lots E, F, and G, Block 14, Plan 77R 35154 into one parcel.
Thank you very much. Okay, a motion, please.
Your Worship, I'll make the motion that pursuant to Section 122, 1A2 of the Planning and Development Act, the city advises that Eisner Mahon and Forsyth Law Firm that has no objections to the consolidation of lots E, F, and G, Block 14, Plan 77R 35154 into one parcel.
Thank you. And a seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments on this? Councillor Morissette.
Thank you, Your Worship. Director of Finance, Ms. Saul, sorry to catch you off guard. This just occurred to me. Will this change taxation at all for this particular property?
Yes, so they're currently condos, so they'll change to apartments.
Thank you. Any other questions? Councillor Corrigan?
Thank you, Worship. Just one, Shirley. I'm not opposed to this, but I'm just wondering, will this streamline the process for them then, as far as from having 3 separate entities to one? Is that the idea behind this?
Yeah, so that's the idea why they're consolidating the property instead of having more than one tax.
So they're getting 3 assessments?
Yeah.
And now they'll get 1?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I'm just wondering why they never did this previously. Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? In the recommendation, it says that the city has no objection. Are there further steps for this group as they go down this road, or are we the final step?
We are the final step. However, we will be sending it to community planning as well.
And,
yeah.
And just community planning would have to approve it and sign off on it then?
They'll just accept it pretty much, yeah. So not really much to do on their end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you. Okay. If that's it, we'll call the question. All in favor? And that one's carried. Thank you very much. All right, we've come kind of to the end. We're at inquiries and announcements, and I'm assuming there's going to be many, because we're not going to be together for a couple of weeks, but maybe I have made a poor assumption. That has happened to me in the past. All right. Have a good summer. Yeah. Okay, well, I will note that we have only one council meeting in July. That is Monday, July 14th. So that will be the next time that we're together. Nobody has anything else? Oh, City Clerk.
Yep, just a reminder that the Weyburn Leisure Centre will be hosting Canada Day festivities on July 1st. So I think all that information will be posted online. Yep.
There's an opportunity for cake.
Yeah, there's
that event.
cake. Yep.
Yeah. I've been
and
there.
Barbecue, I think.
And barbecue.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a good day.
And free swimming.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. If that's it, then we will adjourn this meeting. Thank you very much. Have a great summer, at least the first 2 weeks.
If you'd like to share your feedback on the program you just watched, contact us today